Good evening, everyone, all the way from Thailand. For those who are struggling with negativity, you find yourself being in these heavy patterns or heavy mood, this negative cloud that is over you, then how do you get out? And this video is for you. I wanted to give you 8 tools, 8 tips that we use in the monastery that can help to shift you out of this space. Before we get into that, we first need to talk about flow. People are asking me to talk about this concept, and in the outside world, this concept simply means when you are engaged in activity, you're fully focused, you're in that moment, and you're just kind of in that flow state doing this activity. And for many people, then this is a great space because it helps you to reach your goals. A lot of athletes will use this, a lot of artists will use this, or even people in the business world. They'll use this because when they are fully focused, they're zoomed in. This is wonderful. And for me, if it helps you to stay focused, keep it up. But I wanted to give you a different take on this flow state. If I were to make an equivalency in the monastery, how do we train ourselves and how do we get into a flow state? Do Buddhist monks have this flow state? And kinda, but the space that I would call, I'm just making up my own terms, but for me is I would call it monk flow. And for us, it's not so much based off of productivity and trying to achieve something that many of the people engaged in flow states are looking at from that lens. But from the Buddhist monks is the space that we try to get into, and our version of flow state is just a state of contentment. Contentment means in this moment, I don't need anything else. I don't have a desire for more. I don't have a wanting. I don't have a clinging to something. But in this moment, perfect. In this moment where I'm just very relaxed and I'm neutral, and the Thai word that they use, that they teach us here in the monastery is called sabai. We don't have a direct translation in the English language, but if I were to take the best jab at it, it's just really relax. It's this comfort, physical feeling, contentment, not needing anything else. But this is the sabai phase, the sabai period. But in this video, I wanted to give you tools that you can try to practice for yourself and integrate into your world. But without any further ado, let's talk about 8 tools that can help you to get into this monk flow state. Meditation. Meditation is the bedrock for how the monks we train ourselves. Coming back to the mind, coming back to when you engage in the outside world, naturally the mind gets dirty. When you wake up and you go to work and you use your 5 senses, your sight, the sounds, the smell, the taste, and the touch, every interaction that you have with coworkers and your children and the people around you, and when you engage in social media and you're consuming it, already it starts to cloud the mind. For us, what meditation does is that it gives us an opportunity. If you were to look at your mind like a cup full of water, it gets dirty from the day, put your cup down. And what that does is it allows the dirt, the debris, the emotions, the judgments that you have that taints your mind, allow it to settle to the very bottom of this cup. And from that, then you can start to see neutrally. Your lens that you're looking at the world, it's actually clear. And you can see nature as it truly is. What it gets rid of is anger, greed, and delusion from your mind. So we need this practice. When we're sitting in meditation, you need two different conditions. One, make sure your body, physical body, is relaxed. That's it. Find a nice, comfortable position on the ground. You can sit in a chair, no worries, but make sure, adjust your body and get it to be relaxed. Another piece of it is then relax your mind. The way we can access this is when you're meditating, is just imagine this space of like you're on vacation. Allow your mind to just rest. You don't have to do anything. Imagine you're on a private island, just you by yourself, or you're in the forest. No one to disturb you. You don't have to worry about the past. You don't have to worry about the future. And in this moment, I'm fully here. And this is, again, relaxation of body, relaxation of mind. And then the second pillar is to have awareness. Awareness where you get so comfortable as if you're about to fall asleep, but you don't lose consciousness. Just have a light, gentle attention. And when we practice meditation, right there, we start to access this inner peace, this inner stillness. And then many people now are seeing the importance of meditation, and all of you are starting to practice. So please keep that up. But where there's still a disconnect is people think that meditation is just when I'm sitting with my eyes closed, done. And no, that's not it. That's the first step. But for me is when you practice meditation, the peace that you cultivated, now when you get back into the outside world, carry this good feeling with you. Take that good energy, take that peace and that anchor and stability, take that with you into the rest of your day. And this is how we use meditation to flow into the other areas of our life. And this is the beginning of how we can access this monk flow, as I would call it, but get yourself as peaceful, calm as possible. So give meditation a try. Recollect your good deeds. Many people out there are doing good and positive things. For us in the monastery is when we do good deeds, then this pure energy arises, and we call this merit, just pure energy. And how do we access this? Is when you follow a moral code and conduct and you're not doing any harm to others, wonderful, you're producing good deeds. When you practice generosity, giving of your time, such as volunteering, giving up of your resources and making donations, giving up of your encouragement and support of other people, cheering them on, giving them teachings to get them on the right path. These are all ways of producing good deeds, producing good merits in your life. Even forgiving yourself and asking for forgiveness of others. This will produce this pure energy. And the last one is when we meditate. The mind gets still and the mind gets bright. It's producing this pure energy. So every single day, many of you are doing this good deed and you feel good when you're doing in that moment. And then that's it. And you forget it. But for us and how we train ourselves in the monastery is no, teach yourself to recollect that good feeling and stay in it. And imagine is that in this moment, or even in the end of each evening, take the time to recollect and think of, wow, what were the good things that I've done today? I helped my parents, I helped my coworkers, I taught them tools that can help to make them a better person that does not cause harm to themselves and others. You practice meditation. You're listening to teachings like this that helps to nourish you and provide a good feeling. This feels wonderful. So recollect in that and just imagine this bright feeling. You don't have to so much connect to the details, but just the feeling of it, and just bring it back to yourself. And now, this is only today. Now build on top of that. Imagine all of the good deeds that you did just this week. And in this moment, think of those things. Wow, I did that. And recollect and add it to it and let it build on top of one another. Now, recollect, what good did you do this month? What good did you do this year? What good did you do this lifetime? And if we can have this kind of practice where we sit in this good feeling, sit in this merit field, wow. Now it helps us to access a positive space, a contentment space, and now prolong it as much as you can, and it will help to train you to get out of that negative loop and that negative spiral, but come back to this contentment. And we do that by recollecting our merits. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. If you understand merit, that the good deeds that we do, we can recollect it and sit in this good feeling again. Imagine that when you do good, and you help out other people, do you know that when they do good, now you can get a benefit of that? And for myself, I'm just using me as an example where I recollect the first step of recollecting just the good deed that I've done this week. Okay, I can feel it. Wow, all the good things that I've done this month, this year, this lifetime. I think of my ordination and becoming a monk, making these videos for you that has helped so many people improve their thoughts, speech, and actions. Wow, I can sit in this proud feeling. Now, like I said, to take it deeper, the people who has changed, the people who have transformed from listening to these kind of teachings, now they pay it forward. Now, because their mind is more bright and clear, they use this tool and they help their friends. They help their families and their coworker, and it keeps spreading. They teach about meditation and forgiveness, and now, again, it keeps spreading. The web of goodness keeps going, and you know what? You have a hand in helping that, and you have part of ownership in that merit, ownership in that goodness, and recollect it. I think of all the men who came to Thailand to ordain because they maybe saw a video. I think of all of you who are doing good and practicing a morning routine and meditation and practicing your speech. Now, I can recollect your good deeds and how you're spreading it to the world. I think of my time working as a therapist, a licensed marriage and family therapist at a group home and helping the foster kids. And now I don't know where they are in the world. I hope you all are doing well. But the interaction and the things that I've been able to teach them, now it's spreading. If you can imagine and recollect that what you told and shared with Lisa, and now she's doing good, wow, you get a part of that. What John and how you helped him, now it's bleeding through the world. What Kelly, the encouragement that you gave her that one day, now she's passing it along. If you can come back and think of this positive space and how you made an impact already, now it begins this flow state for you. and sit in that good feeling and just allow yourself to marinate in this good space. But this is another tool to accessing this monk flow. So always recollect your merit. Bring your awareness back to your body. Many of you out there are so busy with your life. Again, you're engaged with school and work and activities, and you got to do what you got to do, and no judgment with that at all. But the issue that we have is when we're out in the world, we get lost. And we get lost in that activity. How many of you can relate? You get lost in that thought. When you're no longer even doing that activity, you're still thinking about it. Now, where is your awareness? Just even pay attention now. Some of you are sitting here with me, watching this, but you're not here. And where you are is you're still thinking about your work. You're still thinking about your family. You're still somewhere else. Maybe you're even in another location, a past experience. But what can be so helpful for us to get back into this flow state is come back to your body. Just be aware. That's it. Oh, wow. Where is my mind? Where is my awareness? It's out there. No problem. No problem. This is normal and natural, but we have to start to train ourselves of first come back to our body. And the easiest thing that you can do is even just paying attention to your posture. As humans, we're typically engaged in four. You're either laying down, you're sitting, you're standing, or you're walking. Every single moment you're doing one of these four. So then from that, just bring or start to train your mind of, oh, okay, in this moment, I'm sitting. Okay, my awareness is back here. You bring it home, not out there, but again, bring your awareness back to your body. And what we find is when you can start to do that, the mind will start to go back to its home base inside the body on its own. It will start to become more relaxed. It will start to become more grounded. Even listen to the words that we're saying. Get centered. And this is the anchor. But each day, it may not be natural, but throughout the day, just see, okay, my attention is back here. Wherever it feels comfortable, maybe some people, it feels comfortable. I have this awareness just in front of my face. Stay with that, no problem. Maybe it covers your whole body and you're aware of, like I said, all your posture, no problem. Maybe it's in the middle of your stomach. Maybe it's in your breath, anything, no problem, but come back to your body and keep training over and over each day. Come back, come back, come back. And maybe in one day, in the beginning, you can remember this just 2 times. No problem, it's good. And now the next day, 3 times. And the following day, maybe 8 times. But keep training yourself until it becomes this habit. Relax your body. This is an additional tip that relates to the one that we just talked about of bringing your awareness back to your body. But this one is actually making an attempt to relax it. When we are doing our work outside, we're focused. And when we're focused, we're concentrated, what typically happens is now we're tense. And maybe we're tense, but we don't even know it. And it's straining. It's straining with our eyes. It's straining in the physical body of we can feel the tension in our shoulders, in our back. And that's why we can at times just feel like, oh, my body is just so uncomfortable, or my body feels stiff. So from that, then, if you can, try to, throughout the day, just relax your body. You can even do a body scan. As we're sitting here together, just close your eyes, imagine, release the tension from your eyes. You may not even be aware of how much push you're using. Relax just your cheeks, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your stomach, your hips, all the way down to your feet. And one of the things that my brother Monk told me that has been helpful for him is that when he is walking, he imagines he has a pillow right behind his head. And just that little exercise, even when I'm doing a mundane activity, now I can feel relaxed. So this may work for some of you, this may not work for some of you. It's okay, but give it a try. But the point really is that it's another tool that can help you come back to this contentment, relax, sabai feeling. And always, again, relax the physical body, and try that out today. Have an amulet. An amulet for us is like a pendant that we carry with us. For Buddhists, we have it where it is a picture of our master. It can be a crystal ball, just a small little thing that we carry. It can be an image of the Buddha, but anything sacred and holy that can be helpful for you. For those who are from another tradition, not a problem. You can even carry something like a rosary beads. You can carry like a cross or a necklace that can have it with you. But for me, and then for the monks here in our temple, is we just have these amulets just hanging from our pockets within our robes. And to get back to this grounding, for me, I would just place my hand over it. You can even close your eyes, and it makes me feel safe. And it makes me come back to something so sacred, something so holy and pure. And in this moment, instead of worrying about future and past, instead of being in the negative mental headspace, break that up, break that up. Come back to this object, and then it can help to get you back to this grounding. If you have a physical object, you can use it. For some people who do not have a physical object, you can just imagine it. Imagine the amulet. Imagine the picture of your master, the Buddha, of Jesus, of a rosary bead, anything that can be helpful for you. But this is simply a tool that can help you get back into that flow state and disrupt your other patterns. But carry it with you, and I know for myself, it's been a game changer, because in any situation, in any moment that I have a sense of worry or dread, come back, and you are safe. And get back grounded and keep going. Come back to gratitude. I find that this is such an easy and effective way to break your patterns. And the way we can do this is when you notice yourself having negative emotions or being distracted, then just write down 20 things that you're grateful for. You can even just think of 20 things that you're grateful for. And it can be anything small or anything big. So for myself, just to give you an example, is in this moment, I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to live as a Buddhist monk. I'm so grateful every day I have breakfast and lunch provided for me. I have a place that I can rest my head. I have clean water to drink. I have my parents who are alive and in good health. I have a platform where I can connect and teach all of you. I have the time and space to practice my meditation. And when you can do this every single day, it starts to change something in you. It starts to change a habit and to access another area of yourself that can be so positive and peaceful. So in the beginning, I would just recommend of when you wake up in the morning, maybe after your meditation, do 20 to 25 things that you're grateful for. And even before you go to bed, just reflect on, again, 20 to 25 things that you're grateful for, and it would change that space that you are currently in. But start there. Stay with the Dhamma. And Dhamma is simply wisdom. And for us, we are so lucky because we have access to books that offers wisdom. We have videos like this that offers you wisdom. We even have podcasts and audio. The internet has so many different articles, but we have wisdom at the tip of our fingers. And many times when people are struggling out there, what do? The natural thing to do is we ruminate. We think about our problems over and over and over again. It brings up heavy emotions, and now we stick with the emotions and we never break that cycle, and then it brings up worry and you engage in it, and again, keeps going. But instead, if you can, break that by coming back to engaging yourself with something positive. What I love about wisdom and the Dhamma is that it gives you a new lens of looking at things. When we are suffering, it's so natural to feel like isolated and alone and not hopeful, meaning that there's no solution to this. I'm trapped and there's no way out. But no, if you can access real wisdom and sit and reflect in that, it will show you that no, suffering is normal. It will show you that there is a way out of, no, train your mind and your perspective of how you look at this issue. It can be one way out. It can make you feel, oh, all humans go through this. All humans experience this. And then the second thing is it gives you a different perspective of looking at your issues that you're not even exploring. Because when we go to our friends and we're accessing ourselves, you're using the same mind to look at that problem. But no, let's look at it from a different lens, from a different perspective. Something for me that is so helpful is I just take out a book that our master nun wrote. And then when I read it and she talks about meditation, she talks about how she trains herself. She talks about how she overcomes the obstacles, how to endure these obstacles. She talks about that when you do good, good will follow. She talks about these kind of laws, and just by reading that, it reassures me. It gives me some kind of comfort. So then now, by reading this and every single day surrounding myself with wisdom, it starts to change inside. And from this good feeling, now again, I carry that through the rest of my day. And this is a good start for you to, again, access that monk flow of contentment. Engage in mindful chores. So many of you, well, hopefully, I don't want to assume, but are doing some kind of chores. In the West, when we think of chores, it has some kind of negative connotation because it's a lot of work. It's taking a lot of my time. I'm tired, I'm lazy, and I don't want to do it. But really, for us in the monastery, chores are just part of our daily routine and our habit to developing the mind. I want to share a kind of embarrassing story, but when I first came to the monastery, we did the ordination, and then after a week or so, they took us into the forest. And then we do normal chores, just like sweeping. And in the forest though, my mentor monk, he handed me a broom and he said, Venerable Nick, your chore for this week is that you're sweeping the forest. Yeah. So maybe I have the same reaction as some of you may have. And I'm looking at the forest like this, where there's just pine trees everywhere, acres of pine trees. And I'm like, wait, you just gave me this dinky broom and you want me to sweep the forest? And when I'm sweeping the forest, you know that these pine trees will shed its pine every 2 seconds. And this forest is gonna be dirty again. So wait, how does that make sense? I don't get it. And in the beginning, for me, I was quite entitled coming from California and Malibu, but I knew that I want to train myself. I want to train my mind and okay, whatever. Let me just do this exercise. Let me just do my daily chores. And what I found was when I let my ego go, my entitlement go, I would take this broom, I would go into the forest, and I would start sweeping. In the beginning, my mind, the doubt started to swirl, and I'm like, oh my goodness, really, this is so ridiculous. I can't believe this. This is silly. But I'm like, okay, keep going, and keep going. And slowly what happened was then my mind started to be calm. Then slowly what I noticed was that, wow, I was just fully in the present moment. I started to feel the broomstick in my hand. I started, instead of thinking about other things outside, I started to just hear the bristle of the broom against the ground and just sweep, sweep, sweep. And it started to get into this repetitive mode. And slowly, I was, each moment of the sweeping, I started to become more present. I didn't need anything. I wasn't worried about my past. I wasn't concerned about the future. No worries, it will come. And again, sweep, sweep, sweep. And the longer that I did that, I didn't even have a goal of, nope, I'm gonna clean and finish this portion of the forest. Nope. It was just simply another tool to train the mind and to learn how to be fully okay with this present moment. And wow, as a Westerner, we're not used to that. And for me, it was so, it's such a beautiful experience. And when we talk about chores, you can do this with just even sweeping. You can do this with cleaning of the table, of mopping, of wiping, of washing and doing your laundry. But don't think of it just doing a chore to accomplish something. But again, it's another training for your mind to be more present. And each time that you're doing, it's helping to brighten your mind. But if you can, one, do chores and do it mindfully. So secondly, incorporate it into your daily habit, daily practice as a training for yourself to access this space. But chores are so powerful. So there you have it. Those are the 8 tools that we use to train ourselves. And the last bonus tip is smile. That's it. It can seem so simple and so cheesy, but when we can put a smile on our face, it can help to shift our mood. I remember my brother Monk told me this advice, and I'm like, that is so silly. I'm a grown man, and you're gonna tell me, really, just teach yourself to smile? Like, what does that have to do with anything, and how does that help you? But what I notice is from doing that practice, You have no choice. But when you put a light, gentle smile on your face, it helps to shift that mental space that you're in. But as always, with any of these things, please just try it for yourself. If it works for you, keep it. If it doesn't work for you, no problem. But I wanted to just give you simple, practical tools that you can integrate into your life. So to summarize all of these things is come back to this flow state. And the flow state that I'm referencing, the monk flow, is not for productivity's sake, not for to getting somewhere sake, but what we find in the monastery is that when you can train yourself, your mind is fully present, your mind is here, it's bright and clear. You know what? Automatically you will be more motivated. Automatically you will be more positive and productive. Everything that people are trying to achieve, it comes as a result of a mind that is still and a mind that is bright. And this is how we train ourselves. The second thing that I would add to it is that in the beginning, it will not feel natural. Any of these tools, it will help you get started, but you'll maybe just access 1 second of peace, contentment, or that sabai feeling that I'm talking about. And it looks so small, but to me, that is a big thing. And that is powerful. Now you can touch that feeling. And all we gotta do moving forward is extend it. Extend this contentment from 1 second. You know how to do that now. 1 second to 2 seconds, to 3 seconds, to 4 seconds. Imagine if you can be fully content and peaceful 1 minute straight, 5 minutes straight. It turns into 1 hour. It turns into a whole day, and it is possible. In the beginning, like I said, it will be clunky and no problem, and you'll forget. Sometimes you go 3 days and you're like, wait, I completely forgot to do the exercise Venerable Nick shared with me. No problem. You have to train yourself. And then the more you train yourself, it will start to become semi-automatic. Half the time you forget, half of the time you remember, and then it's on and off. So periodically you can recall this. Then to the point where it becomes automatic and it becomes natural. So many of the people reaching out to me, you'll say, wow, I want to be peaceful like the Buddhist monks. And I get that because I sat in your shoes and I've looked at Buddhist monks before. I'm like, whoa, they're so peaceful. And I see some of my meditating brother monks. I'm like, wow. And the monks are just purely so compassionate, so peaceful. How do they do that? I have an answer for you, my friends. It's called training. It's called practice. And in the monastery, we do this every single day. For myself, it has been years now of the practice to get that, to make it semi-automatic, to have this peace space automatically in a more prolonged period of time. Let me access this monk flow. And all I know is that from when I first started in the monk path as a brand new monk, day one, to where I am now, it's night and day. And for you, if you keep these practices and if you're very patient with yourself and diligent, you can access this monk flow for yourself as well. And all I know is the last thing I'll leave you with is for in Buddhism, they say that a peace of mind surpasses all happiness. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the fame, you can have all the material wealth, but all I know is that peace of mind, wow, even if you can touch that 1 second. So I hope this can inspire you to, one, start a practice, or two, if you already have a practice, keep going, and you're all doing so great. And as a community, I think we can all train and cultivate ourselves together and continue to support and encourage one another. So as always, I just wanted to send you all my blessings from Thailand. I hope that these tools are helpful for you, and please keep us updated on your progress. But please take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Satu.